I think the military has made a lot of us desensitized to a lot of shit that the normal person would care about, worry about. We don't give a shit about.
I don't give a fuck about that shit, man.
Right.
Hustle Gang, what's up, baby?
What's good, y'all? What's good? We back with another one, man. Hustle Live Podcast, Hustle Smarter TV. You already know what it is, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to do it every time.
Hustle Gang.
Hustle Gang.
Hustle Gang.
Hustle Gang.
Another day, another dollar, baby.
You know the booth ain't the same with you in person.
Yeah, man. We need you here, baby.
But you got COVID, so you got to stay where you at.
Ain't coughing this shit?
You ain't got that shit.
Ain't got that shit, nigga.
What we talking about, yo? I'll tell you what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. This is freestyle right here.
Freestyle.
It's off the top.
Mental health.
Ooh.
Health check.
Health check.
Around the room. If I cry, don't touch me, Colin.
Why not? Let's see what you on, nigga.
I ain't had a dark year in like 11 years. A dark woman, y'all. Pause the whole one. But I used to like them black.
Black of the berries, who did the juice?
Now they gotta be revolved. But listen, let's keep it 1,000. Can we have a moment?
Oh, for sure.
How you doing, Kris? Mental health check.
Well,
On a scale of, are you a 1 to 5? Was it 1 to 5 or did you 1 to 10?
1 to 10. Kris, no 1 to 10. I got the smiley faces all the way with the frowns and the smiles from 1 to 10.
Oh, I don't go to a therapist. I'm a real one. Kris, 1 to 10, where you at?
Is 10 bad?
No, 10 is great. 1 is bad.
What the fuck? Ain't you backwards, man?
Yeah, you tripping, bro.
bad.
10 is the worst,
Yeah,
bro.
10 is worse. Nah.
Yeah. Kris. 1 is like no symptoms, no nothing. 10 is like, yo, you off your rocker.
Where?
Yeah. How you feeling, Kris? You a 10? You a 1? 5?
I probably thought about 5.
A 5?
Right in the middle?
Solid respect, bro. I'm like a 5 too, bro. A lot of deadly demons we fight every day.
That's a fact.
Yo, what's your number, King?
What's your number? Yeah. You answer your number, bro. 1 to 10. 10 being the worst.
1.
So you good?
No.
Bro,
1 mean good.
You don't rate it like that, bro.
What's wrong with this man, bro?
I'm like an 8.
You an 8 for real?
Yeah.
Despite because everything was going on.
Just a lot.
Hold on, if you
Okay,
we gotta end the episode and take the ER.
What y'all got to do if I'm an 8?
What you mean you 8? Nigga, you high risk.
You high risk. You a flight risk.
What's the one right under that?
7. You get 7.
No, I take 7.
You sure? No, I don't want you to take 7 because you want to be
Yeah,
flight
don't take
risk.
7
You got some real shit going on. You got
you're,
real shit going on.
I ain't asked for all this now.
When you talking real shit with the episode with your brothers, nigga, you supposed to go on deep.
I'm probably an 8 though. I might be a 9. I'm between 7 and 9 depending on the time of the day.
We can get into it. We can get into it.
Go ahead, let's go.
All right. So, first of all, we got to erase this stigma of Black men not having emotions or feelings, because all the stereotypes out there have put us on a spectrum or on a platter or a platform that we are weak if we have a bad day, or if somebody hurts our feelings, or if we mentally ain't there today and we can't be strong that day, then everybody label you weak. So what we do, we raise to withstand everything that come our way and be the strongest person in the room. And sometimes that shit is beneficial because that make us the people that we are today. That make us the hustlers that we are. That make us the doctors that we are. That make us the men who got 3 jobs to put food on the table that we are. But after a while, that shit burn you out. So, and I was in a therapy session last week, and that's what we talked about was all the stereotypes on men in general. You know what I'm saying? And how they ain't fair. Because, at the end of the day, we humans just like women are. And, you know what I'm saying? If we sad, now we soft. And that's
right. So, yeah. So what you like you said, we are bred to be strong through everything, right? And at time we do have a lack in judgment, as you would say, but really it's not a lack of judgment. We just break it down because it's been so much to look at us like we weak, and we can't have a vulnerable side to cry or talk to your homeboy about some real shit without feeling like you judge or feeling like a sucker because you had a vulnerable moment to break down. And that's what it is. We can't break down because we look at it as it's nothing that we supposed to do. We're not supposed to break down. We're supposed to be tough all the time and keep everything bottled up. But it don't work like that. We got mental stability. And when the scale is not even, not a balance, it's gonna tip to one side and we're gonna break down. Rather we crying or rather we got anger. But when we do that, we the bad person because, oh, you should have been said something. You should have been talked to these avenues or outlets that they tell us to go to. But when we go to it, they look at us like, oh, you tripping. We're going to put you in the madhouse. You bugging out. You ain't supposed to be doing this. So then what we supposed to do? Either way we go to, we're going to look at like we tripping. So what we supposed to do?
Shit. Honestly, I believe it starts at home and it starts. Unfortunately, it ain't gonna start in school where I think it should be. Nigga, I didn't know what anxiety or depression was till I joined the Air Force. I never heard those two words before. Like, black people don't we don't talk about that shit. Like, and we don't talk about mental health. Like, I didn't know this whole different part of life of mental health until I joined the service. You know what I'm saying? You know the way we was raised. Not saying that our parents raised us wrong. It's just the way we was raised. You know what I'm saying? The culture. Little black boy, when you fall on the ground, shit, get your ass up.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to eat your food and your stomach hurt, shut the fuck up and eat your food. You know what I'm saying?
That
If you
mental
got an
toughness.
attitude, if you in your feelings, if you crying, hey bro, like hey, you know what I'm saying? Your mama or your pops, hey, quit being soft. Like man the fuck up, you know what I'm saying? So in a sense, being raised like that made me who I am today. But sometimes that shit don't benefit me. Cause
What you want to do when you want to release, bro?
Kind of soft.
You say so?
Yeah.
Shit, we knew that. But hey, Kris, what you want to do?
Sensitive ass nigga.
Like, for real though, like,
Nah, keep it gangster, yo. Y'all hit a lot of stuff. Like I'm over here, like I gotta. It's taking a lot for me to hold myself together, so I probably won't like talk much on this one. But I mean, just a simple day to day. Hustle Gang says some real spill. We never was taught about anxiety and depression in school. You know, I truly didn't know really what suicide was till I joined the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just not common, and it's common now.
Yeah.
Growing up, everybody our age, if they passed away, was car accident or shot.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really a suicidal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really spoke on it. But you know, at one time I was suicidal like 2012. Wasn't nothing going wrong. That's how I know like it's imperative that we show that love to our children. And not that I didn't have the love shown, but just let them know that there are going to be things that they really, your emotions are a wild place.
Right.
I just had moved to New Mexico. I mean, it wasn't nothing going bad. It wasn't nothing going great, but it wasn't nothing going bad. And
was it New Mexico?
It was a little bit of New Mexico.
Okay.
And then my uncle helped me move. Some transgressions happened along that route.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure. It was just pressure. Like everybody want to be the one in the family till they the one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be the one right then. Though. I just was chilling.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of moving parts and just trying to really. The military puts you in a position that most people never will go through.
Mm-hmm.
I was taken from everything I know and went to Japan. Ooh. Left Japan, came home for I think that's what happened now that I'm old and can compartmentalize the situation. I was in Japan for 2 years, deployed from Japan. I did come home for a month, but I went home for a month before I went to New Mexico from Japan. So I'm at home, I'm in my element, and then boom, I'm in New Mexico.
Right.
And now it's like
starting over.
Nigga, I ain't got no forks in the house. Because now I'm not in the dorms anymore. I got my own spot.
You're on your own.
And I never forget. I don't know. I don't even know if I can say that. I ain't gonna say that because they might just. I don't want anybody to send me the mental health or nothing.
Bro, what you mean?
They don't
This
listen.
episode is.
Yeah, this is the whole
But nah,
episode.
I just had got in a funk, man, and it wasn't like I said, it was nothing wrong. Like I was still in, women still love me. I ain't never had a problem with that.
Right.
Fat, skinny, or different.
Yeah.
But man, I just was like, I don't know what's wrong, but I don't like the way I feel.
Got you.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here.
Yeah.
And I had just bought that Glock 40. Big motherfucker. Yeah, you know the joint. Like, yeah. Little razzle.
Yeah.
And I never forget, I was sitting there and I grabbed the joint. And and that's the crazy part about it. If you listen, I promise to God, it's not always going to be a bad breakup. It's not always going to be a divorce. It's not always going to be a job. I couldn't explain to you why I felt that way.
Right.
I just felt that I was better if I was to leave. And don't know why. Like my money was good. I had no responsibilities. I was getting it cracking. Valentine's every night, Christmas every day type lifestyle. I just don't know what happened in that blank moment. And that's why I always say the devil's playground is an idle mind, or the idle mind is a devil playground. Never forget though, I grabbed the 40, like, I just not feeling it. Yeah. I'm gonna figure this shit out. And Jerry G called me. And Jerry G's a texter. Yeah. Text you to death what he call you. Right. So it was like one of those in times where it worked. Yeah. And he hung, he called like, what's good? And normally I'm me. So when I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm trying to get him off the phone because I'm trying to go ahead and, get on out of here. Right. And man, he chopped it up with me for a minute, like, what's good with you? Yeah. And I was sitting in the hallway. Sitting in the hallway at my new spot, no furniture yet, waiting on team. I'm sitting in the hallway. I got the, the 40 right here. Like, and he's like, well, we chopped it. Like, yo, something ain't right with you. Like, because this ain't me. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know, bro. And then I told him, like, I don't know, bro. I was thinking about just, you know what I mean? Banging out. Yeah. And he was like, nigga, what? And the nigga was like, yo, fuck that, nigga. Take that gun and flush it down the toilet. I said, bitch, I just paid $500 for this motherfucker. That motherfucker ain't gonna fit down the toilet. But once we said that and laughed it out, it was nothing. Okay. It was nothing.
So let me ask you, did you once think about how, if you did that, how other people would feel, people that care about you and love you?
Nah, I didn't, because I felt I had no one to talk to. If I would have said, and this is the part of what you said earlier, if I would have called home and was like, yo, I don't feel right. Yeah. I'm in New Mexico, I just left Japan. I don't feel right, yo. I don't know what's going on. What's the first thing they're gonna tell me? Nigga, you tripped. Nigga, you soft. Yeah. You left Florence, nigga. Just man up. Yeah, they not even gonna let me. I just needed someone that I fucked with to talk to. And when I got the chance to talk to bro, and we chopped it up for like an hour, it felt like kids again, just chopping it up. He was like, what's good with you? Like, everything was good. You just left the crib smiling, and it was just a transition. Which, why I say a lot, the military isn't for everybody. It's tough. Yeah, facts. It's tough to leave everything you know and start over. I'm accustomed now, but at that time, you're talking 21. Yeah, 21. Like, it was tough, yo. Shout out to Jerry though for calling. He called at the right time. Big guy working mysterious ways.
Shout out to you for opening up, being transparent about a dark time in your life. Shit, it take a lot to even admit that shit. I ain't never heard that story, and you'll never stop talking my ear off. So shit, it take a lot to say that.
Big time.
And it's going out on public display, but it's a lot of people who gonna listen to it.
Just let you know, strong people get weak too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
we vulnerable at times.
We're gonna have somebody listening, right? Somebody gonna listen to this episode, and it's gonna change their life. So this shit important.
And the craziest part about it, like I said, I just really want to reiterate that if I can for everybody that's listening. There was nothing alarming wrong in my life. It was like my money was. I had nothing. I came straight from Japan. I probably was 20,000, 30,000 up. Money was good. I just moved to my first spot. My old school was good. It was a little pressure of moving, and then I would say the added pressure of my uncle being around and just trying to accommodate him at such a young age. Right. It was a little rough, but it was nothing was even close enough for, I done been through way worse shit. Right. But nothing was even close to that to make me think that way. And I just want to let people who aren't aware of it that, like, that shit it happens to people, yo.
Yeah, people you don't expect.
It happens to people.
Like you said, nothing could be going wrong. Everything could be going right.
Yeah, everything was cool. It just felt like at that moment, crazy as it may sound, and as obscene, as absurd as it may sound, like it just felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's fucking crazy.
It is that you know that your mind or whatever it is can make you think or fathom the thought that this is the right thing to do. This is the way to go. This is what you should do right now at this moment. Hey, y'all. Hey, world. Hustle Lounge Podcast.
Like, subscribe.
Yeah, leave a comment, man.
Leave a comment.
When I was a kid, like having anger problems was kind of like cool. I mean, like when you get mad and you get in a fight, you know, it was never talked about like control your anger. It was about who won the fight. Like it was never a point where people was like, hey, you need to control your anger because that 1 minute or 2 minute decision can change the outcome of your life. That's what I'm saying. Like having anger problem wasn't really a problem until you turn 16, 17, 18 and it's too late. But that anger problem really could have been addressed when you were way younger. Because
I think everybody got
I know everybody got anger problems, but everybody can't control it. And then nobody is really emphasizing that you have to control your anger. So anger is a feeling. It's okay to be mad, but what you do when you mad is really, really important. Because when you 5 or 6 and you get mad and you punch your friend, don't shit happen. But if you keep that same energy until you 16 or 17, when they make you mad, now you kill them. You know what I'm saying? And it's a little small analogy, but that analogy is really real fucking life. Because if somebody not trying to teach you how to control your anger when you that little, it's never gonna fucking stop. And my temperament was always not the worst nigga, but when I got there, I got there. You gotta fucking pinch me 10 times. And then when you pinch me the 11th time, I'm gonna fucking snap. Now, you know what I'm saying? I just be like, shit, you just got a lot like I internalize like, all right, Kris, you fucking mad. But let's think about it. Let's sit back, let's chill, let's internalize it, and then let's not make a dumbass decision why you mad. Let's not make
everything ain't worth it.
Yeah,
every decision ain't worth it because you got to determine what's the outcome. Like Pops always telling me, every action has a reaction.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you
really want to have control of your emotions. You don't want nobody to determine how you feel. You don't want nobody to make you act out of character. So
what are you doing to help yourself with that?
With the anger?
With the emotional part.
I don't really have a problem with expressing my feelings or letting somebody know that, hey, that's the first step to doing that is to internalize your feelings and to express them. For a long time, what you do is you get mad and you don't say nothing because you're like, oh, he mad, I'm not talking to him. Or they did something I don't like, so I'm gonna cut them off. So the first step to really controlling your feelings is acknowledging that, hey, G, you said some shit yesterday that I didn't like. This is how it made me feel. I appreciate me and say the shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Instead of what people usually do, they either cuss you the fuck out and then they don't talk to you, or they ignore you and don't talk to you for 2 days because they mad at you. But the whole process of getting to that point is recognizing your feelings and then dealing with them in a good way, like in a probable way that makes most sense.
I think it all depends on you when you release that anger.
It's some people who don't even experience anger. All their emotions is depression or they're very sensitive, so they cry or they sob around when people say it defeats them. Like some shit that you would say to me to get me fired up. Like I'd be like, nigga, fuck you. But you got one person, if you say
we know you
they
gonna say that.
They gonna go to the corner and they gonna cry because that's how they react.
Right.
So you got that side and you got this side. So
you say like it's all how they respond to constructive criticism.
It's just all how you construct it emotionally. Some people react with anger. Some people react with depression.
But I like that word that Colin said. You can tell he been going through the courses because he said defense mechanism. Like, it's easier for me to say, my uncle don't fuck with me. He changed. Fuck that nigga. I'm about to run it up. I don't need that nigga. Fuck him. It's easier for me to say that than for me
That's fine.
No, it's not, because I need to call him and just say, yo, my therapist told me this. I need to call him and say, oh, I feel some kind of way because you didn't invite me to your wedding.
Well, it's out. I mean, it's out here now in public display. I suggest you call him before you release this.
Yeah, but he ain't do it.
But I probably ain't gonna call him.
That's out of his character. Like, he shouldn't have to call him and say that.
Yeah, I feel like if I call him, I'm giving in. At that point, I don't have to tap dance with anybody or anything or do anything that I don't want to do.
Right.
Like, especially with him having bread. That's why I preach so much financial freedom. Because I don't need that nigga.
Straight up.
And the military has made me that way too. Like, where I just don't give a fuck, man. I don't even care, yo.
I think the military has made a lot of us desensitized to a lot of shit that the normal person would care about, worry about. We don't give a shit.
I don't give a fuck about that shit, man.
Right.
Yeah, so I definitely would say I need to mental health, healthiness. I definitely need to just call him.
Yeah.
A 5-minute phone call probably can take some of that anger out of my heart.
That's depending on what he got to say.
I don't even think it depends on what he got to say, because ultimately, my main thing was I was upset about not going to his wedding because I knew my grandfather was getting older. And all I was thinking, and I made this statement, and I said, you know, Pop getting older. Pop in a fucking tuxedo. I have no pictures with him at his best. Everybody when he passed a couple weeks ago, everybody, like moms and all them, posted pictures from the wedding, looking good.
Ain't no pictures of you.
Nah, we in the crib looking crazy. It's still a good video because we have video,
right.
But it's not the same.
It's not that.
And that's
moment.
my point, is that there is only so many times that you're going to be able to be in those kind of situations.
Yeah.
What did I do to not
get
be
this invite to the wedding? I
don't have no heart. I don't want nothing bad to happen to him.
You just want to know.
But I don't know how to express myself without, and Kris might know by now, I don't know how to express myself without, like, if something come out wrong, I'm just like, nigga, fuck you. And I'm still a respectful person. So it's like, for me to even get to that point, I'd rather just say nothing.
Yeah, I understand it, but I don't think you can do that, because what you may find stupid, he may find reasonable.
But there's no reason.
But I mean, his reason and your reason is too different. So if he finds something, I'm gonna tell you X, Y, Z, and this is the reason, you think it's a stupid reason, he can't identify what you consider a stupid reason.
You all right. I mean, you know, ultimately, I done played the shit through my head, and I think that's another thing with mental health. Right. I done played the scenario of asking him about it 20 times.
Right.
And I don't like none of the come outs of it, so I never asked him.
Okay.
Because then, like Kris say, you know, I have said wild things in my day.
Yeah.
I love all my family, though. I'm maybe the black sheep. I'm okay with it. I love all my family. I just pray that I get the strength one day to actually have that conversation with him, because it's been eating me. And I don't let nobody live in my head rent free.
Nah, facts.
But it's so much respect for him that I don't want to ask him.
Right.
I ultimately believe that part of my grieving of losing my grandfather, I need to make those relationships right. Because I said some crazy shit at the funeral.
You did?
Yeah. On stage.
On stage?
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
To sum it up, I just basically said, like, yo, Pop always showed up until his health failed. Yeah. A lot of times we get in these situations where, you know, I pointed at it, somebody laying in front of us. Yeah. And now we love you to death. Show me with your actions. Yeah. Don't exclude me from events that you have. Ooh, you said that? You want to hear it? It's on YouTube.
How everybody doing? Good. Y'all can hear me good? I don't like microphones. That's right, though. All right. So normally I get up early and I brainstorm when I'm working out. And whenever I speak, I never write notes. It's not my thing. But, you know, my daughter wouldn't allow me to sleep last night to hit the gym this morning, so I got me some notes. I'm 3 minutes. Okay. Don't say that now. We'll be here till tomorrow. All right. So every time I speak, I always try to find the reason of why I'm speaking. So I won't get up here and talk about me. It's not how it works. But I will say what Papa has instilled in me. So growing up, I can never say yes, sir. Yes, sir, no, sir. So I might be probably the only one from the South here. That's not how we roll back home. But Pop would never let me say yes, sir, or no, sir. So as I got older, I said, well, can I call you Bubby? And his face changed. So we just said, yes, Papa, no, Papa. Things that I got from him, my looks. Yeah. I also got my charm from him, which, I'm trying not to, that might get me in trouble, but the way he walked, the way he talked, the way he addressed people, all that's in me. Getting people together, I think I do fairly well at that. I know that was Bubby all day. Dance moves. Now, he moved and shook a leg. I can't dance, but I'm not scared to do it in front of people, so that's got to be him also. But one thing that I didn't get from Papa, and I asked all my cousins, I asked my uncles, and I'm working on it. I know God's working on it. I never seen Papa mad. I never seen him raise his voice. I never seen him get upset. Now, that's definitely not me. I need to find that side of it, but I'm getting there. I really thought back, 25 years I can say that I remember. I've never seen Pop raise his hand. I never seen it. The only time I seen him shout was in church. So that's a blessing within itself. That tells me that Pop was a man of peace for a long time. He was unbothered, right? And then we'll go through some of the best advice he gave me. And like I said, we'll be here tomorrow if I said everything. But I remember leaving for the military. He said, grandson, the girl's going to be on you, but find a good woman and build. I did that. Thanks, Pop. And I thought I had checked that off the list, and then he told me a couple years later, you ain't done nothing till you raise a child. Come on, Pop, I'm trying to make you happy. I'm doing that, Pop, I'm trying. Hopefully your patience, your mannerisms will help me out so I don't get upset, don't get angered, and don't get disappointed. Every time I talk to Pop, I've been in the Air Force 13 years, he would always ask the same question. And I've talked to Pop sometimes back to back, day to day. How much longer you got in that Air Force, grandson? Pop, I got a couple more years. You need to get out and start you a business. Yes, sir. We would talk Tuesday and Thursday, and he would ask the same question over and over. I said, man, either Pop liked the answer, or he just getting a little old. And I never understood why he asked it so much, but I'm going to do a twofold on that. Well, first, I talked to Uncle Shawnee the other night, a couple hours, talked for a good while, and I'm not one to slow, but what he explained to me made it all make sense of why he asked so much and why he was so proud. And thanks for letting me know that, because I never knew. And then also I said, well, Pop, I'll do you one better. I'll try to start a business while I'm in. Oh, you don't want all that now. You don't want too much. But we talked, and we talked a lot. Even when I had frustrations, because I know he was so, he held himself together and didn't get upset, I would talk to him because I knew it would come from a place of peace and calm and not anger. The last convo we had, I told him about one of my new business ventures, and I could hear the excitement in his voice. He knew I was ready to set him up so he would never have to cook, drive, or anything again. Still working on that. And me and Kiki was talking. Pop's been giving us financial literacy books. I told you I was going to say it. He's been giving us financial literacy books. He's been giving us Million Man March books since we was 11, 10, 12. We didn't get toys. We got books where you need to read and open your mind. And I'm forever grateful for that. As I conclude, because like I said, I'm starting to. Pops was always hustling. Pop was always on the go. I remember when he was doing the store in Red Bank. I'm from the country, so he'd take me to New York. He had me walking fast. Don't look at nobody. Don't say nothing to nobody. Because, I'm from Carolina, so we walk around and do this to everybody. Y'all all right? Just nodding your head. He like, no, don't you speak to nobody. You come with me. But as I conclude, Pop in the physical form is no longer with us. But he's in all of us. All of us. I might forget some people, and I'm sorry, but when I see Marquise going up and down Baltimore, D.C., doing his cooking, that's Pop. When I see Angelica on the internet getting them plates ready, that's Pop. Ivory printing everything on this side of the earth, that's Pop. I know Trey Shell was doing plates one time. I try to keep up with everybody. It's tough. But that's Pop. So I just pray that after this event, we just continue to grow together as a family. We don't know when the clock is going to end, but let's use the time that we have. Let's go to lunch for no reason on a Wednesday. Let's go eat dinner on a Saturday. Let's go to a sports event together. Yeah, everybody has schedules, everybody busy, but Pop always made time. And I'm sure he would want us to do the same till his health failed. One day, well, I said, after we continue to get together. Every time we have an event, don't exclude anyone. Invite everyone. If they come, they come. Extend it. We don't know anyone's financial situations, but I tell you what, I'll bet the house that I'll come because I know that's all we have left is each other. One day, all we'll have left is pictures. So all that I ask family is, let's make sure the pictures are perfect.